Hello, everyone. My name is Scarlett. I never thought I'd be here, telling you my story, but life has a way of surprising us. What I'm about to share might seem like a scene out of a nightmare, but it's all too real. To protect my daughter, I'll be using fake names, and I hope you understand why. This isn't just about me, it's about her too. It all began with a love story, one that was supposed to last forever. I was married to Daniel, my high school sweetheart. We were young, married before I even hit my mid-20s, and life felt like it was already falling perfectly into place. Daniel worked at his father's business, so we were stable, comfortable. His mother, Jenny, adored me, and with Daniel's brother Devin by our side, we were one big, happy family. I thought I had it all. But then, tragedy struck. It wasn't the storybook ending I imagined. One morning, while I was at work, I got the call that shattered my world. Jenny's voice trembled through the phone. "Scarlett, I have some terrible news. Daniel was in a car accident. He didn't even make it to the hospital." "I'm so sorry, Scarlett. I don't know what to do." Those words are still etched in my mind. My heart stopped. The man I thought would spend the rest of my life with me was gone. Just like that. What made everything worse? I was 5 months pregnant with our daughter, Lily. Daniel's absence left an unbearable hole in my chest, and yet, I had to find strength to carry on. Life had handed me the cruelest twist. I would raise our child without him. It felt like a dark cloud was constantly hanging over me, but through it all, I found myself clinging to his memory. It was during this heartbreaking time that Jenny's behavior began to shift, and it didn't take long for it to become a nightmare. Jenny couldn't cope with Daniel's death, and instead of supporting me, she began fixating on me, and more specifically, on my unborn child. Jenny developed this strange belief that Lily was a reincarnation of Daniel, and with that, everything changed. She would refer to my baby as her baby and began to make bizarre decisions about my body and my future. It didn't stop there. "Don't you dare think about moving on, Scarlett," Jenny would warn. "I won't let you leave with my child. Lily will always be with me and Devin. I've set up a nursery at my house, and when she's born, she's coming to live with me." The words were like a slap across the face. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I tried to reason with her. "Jenny, I know you're grieving, but you can't control me like this. This is my child. Lily is mine." But no matter what I said, it was never enough. Jenny didn't hear me. She wouldn't listen. Her obsession was growing, and I was terrified. It didn't take long before I realized I needed to stand my ground. One day, she crossed a line that I could never forgive. After I gave birth, she barged into my hospital room and demanded to hold Lily. But instead of leaving with my baby, she tried to run off with her, rushing for the door. Thankfully, Devin was nearby and stopped her, along with a few nurses. That was the moment I knew Jenny couldn't be around my daughter. It was time to take action. I filed a case against her, turning everything over to the authorities. At first, I hesitated, not wanting to cut off family entirely. I thought maybe, with some boundaries, she would come to her senses. But Jenny didn't change. She continued to push. She tried to take Lily several times, even convincing Devin and his girlfriend to adopt her, but they refused. Jenny's grasp was slipping, and I could see it. The final straw came when Lily was 2. Jenny tried to take her from daycare, and that's when I decided enough was enough. I confronted her in front of Devin, my heart pounding. "What is wrong with you, Jenny? How many times do I have to tell you that you can't take my child?" My voice trembled with fury. "Even the courts are on my side, yet you keep trying to take her. Lily is mine, and she deserves to be with me." Jenny, however, didn't see it that way. Her anger flared. "Lily is mine and no one else's," she spat, her eyes wild with madness. "Scarlett is nothing but a woman. I will take my Lily away from this witch." At that moment, I knew there was no reasoning with her. She was out of control, and I couldn't let her near my daughter anymore. I was terrified for Lily's safety. It was time for me to leave, forever. I moved to a different country, without telling anyone the address, except for Devin, who I trusted. Jenny's behavior haunted me. The paranoia never fully left me. Every day felt like a battle, and for the first year, life was miserable. But I had to keep going, for Lily. I sought therapy, found a new sense of strength, and began to heal. That's when Carlos entered my life. Carlos was a local resident, and quickly, he and Lily formed a bond one could only dream of. We were happy, finally. But of course, Jenny found out. One day, I got a call. "You cheating witch," she screamed, the venom in her voice palpable. "You think you can live in peace? I'll bring Lily back to me, just wait." Her words sent me spiraling. My anxiety skyrocketed. I had to fight to stay calm, knowing that every interaction with her could send me into a panic. I kept the evidence, I kept track of every phone call, every threat. And I made sure that when the restraining order expired, I was there to renew it. The years passed, and though the scars of Jenny's actions would never fade, I started to feel a little more at peace. Lily was growing up, and I was finally finding stability. But Jenny's obsession never truly went away. Even after all these years, I couldn't escape her. When Lily was 6, Carlos and I married. But the peace I thought I'd found was shattered again when Devin called. "Mom found out about your wedding," he said. "I think someone posted a picture, and she saw it. She's not happy about this." My heart sank. Jenny was still there, lurking in the shadows, plotting. I had no choice but to keep moving forward, stay strong, and protect my daughter at all costs. I set up high-security cameras, briefed Lily's school and babysitters, and stayed vigilant. Nothing would stop me from keeping Lily safe. Through it all, I learned one thing: I would never be that naive girl again. Jenny could plot all she wanted, but I wasn't afraid anymore. I would protect my daughter. And nothing, no one, could ever take her from me. Jenny's unpredictability never ceased to amaze me, yet I was always prepared for the worst. It was early one morning, and I was working overtime at the office when a call came through. Devin's name flashed on my phone. My stomach churned with unease. I had no idea why he was calling me at work, but as soon as I answered, his panicked voice shot through the line. "Scarlett, you have to listen to me, this is serious. Mom just left me a message saying she's coming for Lily, and I know you'll never let that happen." "I'm terrified she's planning something reckless," Devin blurted out. My heart raced. "What are you talking about?" I demanded. "Mom wants to take Lily," he continued, breathless. "She's threatening to bring her back to her place, and you know I can't let that happen. There's a restraining order in place, but I think she's planning to break it. She's gonna kidnap Lily. I tried to talk to her, but I'm scared if I push her, she'll just run off with her. You have to stop her before it's too late." A cold wave of anger surged through me. "Devin, I've told her time and time again, she has no rights. I never gave her permission to take Lily. She's obsessed with having Lily replace Daniel in her life, but she's gone too far. I know she needs help, but she refuses to get it." I paused, gripping the phone tighter. "If she really tries to kidnap my daughter, Devin, I won't hesitate. She will go to jail." Devin understood, and he promised to keep me updated if things got worse. As soon as the call ended, I sprang into action. I knew I couldn't make it home in time on my own, so I called for backup. Then, I simply waited, holding my breath, hoping against all reason that Jenny wouldn't cross the line. But of course, she did. The trap was set, and as I drove home with a friend, I saw it all unfold on the security cameras. Lily was playing on the lawn when, out of nowhere, Jenny appeared. My blood ran cold. She was actually trying to take my daughter. Fury burned within me, but there was something else I hadn't anticipated. Jenny, in her desperation, had no idea that Carlos, my husband, was home. He'd been inside the house the entire time, watching everything unfold. 6 months ago, we'd gotten married, and now, Lily had a new father figure in her life. When Jenny grabbed Lily, my daughter immediately cried out for Carlos. And in an instant, he was there, blocking the front door with an authority that made Jenny freeze in her tracks. From the camera, I watched her face drain of color, like she'd just seen a ghost. But it wasn't just any ghost. It was Carlos, still in his sheriff uniform after a shift at work. He'd picked Lily up from school and was spending time with her before I got home. The call I'd made from the office had been to Carlos. I knew he was the one who could stop Jenny. As Jenny stared in shock at Carlos, she had no idea who she was really dealing with. Carlos didn't hesitate. "What are you doing here, Jenny? I know you're Scarlett's mother-in-law, but I'm curious, what brings you to my house?" Her response was predictable. "I'm here to see my granddaughter. She belongs with me." Carlos didn't flinch. "First of all, you have no right to be here. You don't have any visitation rights with Lily. So, why don't you tell me your intentions before I call the cops?" Jenny's face twisted with outrage. "Who are you? And where's my granddaughter?" She was practically shaking with fury. "I won't let you." "I'm her stepfather," Carlos interrupted, standing his ground. "And I have every right to be here. You're trespassing, and I've already called the authorities. You violated a restraining order, and you're trying to kidnap Lily." "No, no! You can't arrest me!" Jenny wailed, her voice filled with hysteria. "Lily belongs to me and Devin. Not you, not him, only Devin." Carlos remained calm. "Jenny, you need to leave now. The cops are on their way, and if you don't go, I'll make sure they arrest you myself." Despite Carlos' warning, Jenny didn't back down. I could hear her shouting as I pulled into the driveway. "You witch! You planned this, marrying a cop just to steal my granddaughter from me." The rage in her voice made my skin crawl, but Carlos didn't flinch. "Calm down, Jenny," I called as I stepped out of the car. "You keep forgetting, my husband is right here, and if you keep harassing us, he'll arrest you." But she wasn't done. "I won't go down easily. I'll tell everyone you were cheating with Carlos before Daniel died. I'll ruin your life." Her voice cracked with desperation. As if on cue, the rest of the officers arrived. They entered the house, assessing the situation. When they started speaking to Carlos, Jenny lost it. She screamed and cried, ranting about how unfair we were, how we were disrespecting Daniel's memory. "Why can't you just give Devin my granddaughter? He's the only one who should be her father. She deserves to be in my family, not yours." And then, in a fit of rage, she lunged at me. She actually tried to assault me right there, in front of Carlos and the cops. It was the last straw. Carlos moved quickly. Jenny was restrained, and though she fought with everything she had, it was clear she was only making things worse. Within seconds, she was being taken away in cuffs, her criminal record growing by the minute. I took some time off work to be with Lily. The poor girl was shaken, traumatized by the incident, especially by how Jenny tried to grab her and run. Honestly, I was exhausted too. But through it all, Carlos has been an unshakable pillar of support for both me and Lily. It warmed my heart when Lily started calling him Dad. She still remembers Daniel, but Carlos is here now. He's a father figure in every sense. Devin and I had a long talk about everything that happened. He apologized repeatedly for his mother's behavior, but I reassured him that none of it was his fault. Jenny's actions weren't his burden to carry. He's uninvited her from his wedding and made it clear that he's cutting ties with her. As for Jenny, she's facing some serious consequences. The charges against her continue to pile up, and from what Carlos has told me, she'll likely face fines and a brief jail sentence. Even her lawyer knows she has no chance of winning this case. We're still waiting for the final hearing, but one thing's for sure, we'll finally have peace. Away from Jenny's chaos, Carlos, Lily, and I are looking forward to a future without her.